Industry plants are artists that are planted in the music industry by labels or other important people. Sometimes they can be hard to spot, and sometimes they are painfully obvious and generic, which can deter people from wanting to listen. And those are the people that we're going to be checking out today. So today I have gathered 4 artists that were planted in the music industry but failed to grow. But first, let's quickly define what an industry plant is. So the term industry plant
somebody
is
that's
thrown
getting
around all the time with tons of people.
Alright. An industry plant is just somebody that's already set by the label to do numbers. You know what I'm saying? They ain't try their best to get into a label. They don't make good music. They just instantly are voted by the industry to do good. You know what I'm saying? The industry just puts them in the spotlight, gives them multiple viewerships, gives them the money that they need. They give them all of that, right? But they don't have actual talent. You know what I'm saying? Most people that become industry plants, they don't really make it. This is why they make this video. But if they are good and they make it, the industry gets their money back that they gave to them. You know what I'm saying? So the industry wouldn't have as much as a gamble if they know that these people are going to be good versus not being good. You know what I'm saying?
Giving it different definitions. For example, when you Google industry plant, the definition is artists who have only just started in the industry and are then picked up by a major label.
Already got a big fan base.
But the issue with this definition and many similar ones is that it can be applied to a lot of artists. The whole point of a label picking up an artist in the first place is to help them blow up. A better definition is an artist who is a major/indie label,
but their music is not good.
Presents themselves as a homegrown startup to create the illusion of an organic following. But the issue with this definition too is that whether or not you're an industry plant, a lot of artists aren't very talkative about their label, and a lot of artists like to run with the did it on my own narrative, so that doesn't really help narrow down the list. However, for the sake of this video, I'm going to define industry plants as artists who sign early in their careers and have their image created mostly by the label as some sort of marketing gimmick. What I mean by this is that these artists have their personality, their music, and their style tailored to a certain audience, which typically comes off as very inauthentic. You'll see what I mean as we go throughout the rest of the video, so let's start off with one of the most notorious industry plants that there is, Jumex. So Jumex is one of the first artists that people tend to think of when it comes to industry plants. He's an artist who started blowing up in 2019 after the release of his song.
I ain't never heard of him.
However, it was pretty apparent right off the bat after the release of his first song, Trapped, that he was an industry plant. The song was a cookie cutter yell rap song where he's yelling the hook and then he raps a verse while forcing his voice to sound like this. The chorus was these lyrics repeated over and over again. I'm trapped and I can't get out, so might as well get high. I'm trapped and I can't get out, so might as well just die. And I don't mind mediocre lyrics and stuff being repeated. Like Lil Pump is a good example, but at least Lil Pump
Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang.
Jumex's song was just, hey, X is popular, let me try to copy that. But the reason it was apparent that he was an industry plant because of this song is because it was his first song and it had a music video directed by ex-Odd Future member Taco, who's pretty up there in the music industry. And he was already signed when this song was released. So then it begs the question, how did Jumex get planted? Well, Jumex was your average high school SoundCloud rapper who was fascinated by music from artists like Lil Peep, X, and others. He was releasing some music before he was planted, but it was even worse than his newer stuff.
You were never there, hearts broken to despair. I saw you in the summer, just a girl with long hair.
It just sounded like some Lil Peep inspired music with poor production.
Sounds kind of good though.
At the time, and on top of that, he was trying to look the part of a SoundCloud rapper as well. However, he went somewhat viral after posting a video online where he was smoking in his class and yelling World Star. This video caught the attention of Bradley Scoffern. Bradley Scoffern is a guy who's worked a lot with Odd Future. He used to help manage Tyler the Creator and worked with Golfway. He had been working with them as early on as 2012 and also worked as a carnival director at Camp Flognaw. So people theorized that Bradley found Jumex from this video, heard his music, decided to invest in him, hooked him up with some industry connections, and therefore planted him in the music industry. People have also said that the label he was with, Corton Records, was created by Bradley, made to look like some indie label, even though there was tons of money behind it. Like I said, this isn't a confirmed fact, it's just speculation, but it would make a lot of sense as to how Jumex got all these industry connections. People also theorized that Bradley had Taco direct his first music video and song, and Taco even played it during his DJ set at Camp Flognaw in 2019.
Dang, that's crazy.
His following song, Loner, was released shortly after Trapped, and he had writing assistance from I Love McConan, who actually helped him on a bunch of other songs, which is kind of sad when the songwriting is so terrible. There's also screenshots of Jumex asking people to write him a song about flexing but emotionally. He got a Genius interview for this song and people clowned out.
He don't look that bad though.
Jumex looks like a Monster Energy can personified. Jumex also did this thing where he would just glamorize being
looked
sad
cool
because
though.
it was trendy, really trying to appeal to the emo type of community. So with a little bit of digging, it looks pretty obvious that he was planted in the music industry. And after releasing some EPs and singles throughout 2019 and 2021, collaborating with people like Lil Xan and Travis Barker, it seems like he parted ways with Corton Records. His numbers started slowing down and Corton probably realized that their investments had failed, so it's likely that they pulled out, or maybe Jumex left them, I'm not sure. So as of now, he's been releasing his latest songs independently with little to no success. I honestly think that the reason he failed is because his first impression was so terrible. The
music wasn't that bad though,
and the industry plant thing was so apparent. In my opinion, his music did get a lot better over time, but because people had these preconceived notions about him, they didn't really want to check his newer stuff out. And that brings us to
I'm gonna listen to
notorious industry plant, Baby Goth. So Baby Goth is an artist that just appeared one day. She popped onto the scene when she was featured on Trippie Redd's album A Love Letter to You 3 on November 9th of 2018. Shortly after that, she released her first song, Swimming, with Trippie Redd and
wait, what? Bro, there's no way she was on a Trippie Redd song and she failing right now, dude. No fucking way. I do not believe
So right
this.
off the bat, she looks
Let's
like
see
an
this
industry
shit.
plant. I mean, her first song wasn't even out and she was already on Trippie Redd's album, but there's a bit more to the
Really?
story. Before she became Baby Goth, she was always really into music. She started making music under the name
She
Maria
looked
Bueno and had
fine.
been doing covers and releasing her own music. She was even with an indie label called Rewind Records. In 2016, she posted an Indiegogo campaign with the attempt to raise money so she could make an EP. Unfortunately, though, she only raised $320 out of her $14,000 goal. Eventually, she was able to release her EP called Babyface, which was more like a pop-sounding project that was actually pretty decent. She had a pretty good voice, and I think she could have had more potential with that had she not rebranded. Baby Goth was doing a ton of things to try to get noticed, and she claims that she was eventually noticed by some people in the industry who found her on their Explore page on Instagram. She then signed to Republic Records, which is a branch of UMG, which is one of the big 3 record labels in the music industry. And when she got signed, she underwent a huge rebrand, covering up her previous career and creating a new image, which is a theme we see among many other industry plants. Her new image was face tattoos, flexing money, and posing with guns. Her and her label were also seemingly hiding the fact that she had a husband and 2 kids, so clearly her label was trying to make her appeal to a certain audience, which, like I said earlier, is a marketing gimmick. Baby Goth then began blowing up after her first few songs. However, though, shortly after she started releasing music, she was exposed by a YouTuber named Progress, who basically proved she was an industry plant. He even found a video of one of her managers saying himself that he made her entire image and brand. He said that she was like a potato with no personality, so he gave her one.
She has no personality. So I was like, since a person can't speak, you got to make them look cool, right? So we get a cool name, right? All we had to do.
Wow, he exposing her.
Right? So you build a aesthetic, you build a brand, right? So when she walks into the office, she looks cool. You know what I mean? That's all labels want.
And that was insane to see. I cannot believe that he admitted that online for people to see. And honestly, her music as Baby Goth wasn't even that bad. Like, I'm not going to go listen to it personally, but that brings me to another point that I want to make in this video. At the end of the day, in my opinion, if the music's good, that's all that matters.
It's good,
she released
yeah.
an EP and continued releasing music
That's what I'm saying.
including a song with Slim Jimmy. But as she kept releasing, her numbers continued going down. The fact that she was an industry plant and her music seems so inauthentic is most likely the reason why her career didn't work out. She's been teasing new music to this day, but has not released anything since 2020. Our next industry plant is Sorry guys, 1 second. Hey, what's up, man?
Hey man, I'm watching your new video and I love your shirt.
How are you seeing the video? I'm filming it right now. It's not even out.
Don't worry about it. Anyways, where'd you get that shirt?
Well, I got this industry plant themed shirt that I'm conveniently wearing in my video about industry plants on
This man is really advertising himself on my video.
Actually come in 4 designs.
That shit sounds fire as fuck.
Here's to watch to the end. I've hidden 3 one time. It's one of the most fascinating origins out of anyone else on this list, and his name is Smiles. So Smiles is a rapper whose name may sound familiar because he was featured on 6ix9ine's album Tattletales on the song Charlie. He released his first song as Smiles a day before that 6ix9ine.
You got a feature with 6ix9ine and fumbled the bag, dude? Bro, what is up with these artists, bro? Bro, I had a feature from 6ix9ine or Trippie Redd, I would snap on that bitch and keep the success going. And ask for, hey, I want another feature. Boy, I go stupid, dude.
Song came out and has been releasing
What?
music consistently ever since. He hasn't seen much success and has only had one song since then crack 1 million plays, and that was a song featuring Snoop Dogg called Happy. So how did an extremely small rapper get featured on 6ix9ine's album and get a feature
Snoop
from Snoop Dogg?
Dogg?
He's got to be an industry plant, right?
Got that money. Gotta have that money.
Traditional industry plant because he's had a career spanning over a decade before becoming Smiles. But I do consider him an industry plant of some sort, and you'll understand why after I explain it. So I think we should start with Smiles' dad. His dad is a man by the name of Bruno Mascalo, who is a multi-millionaire with an estimated net worth of $575 million. Now, the reason I think this guy is his dad is for 3 reasons. 1, he follows Smiles and a Smiles fan page on Instagram. 2, they both have the same name. 3, he mentioned in an interview he has a son in a rock band in LA. And you may be wondering, isn't Smiles a rapper? Why'd you say that he's in a rock band? Well, that article is from 2011, when Smiles was in a rock band by the name of Drive A. He was the lead vocalist and guitarist, and I'm not gonna lie, their music was pretty solid. The band was formed in 2007 and put out music until 2011. They released 2 full-length albums and they were actually pretty successful. Drive A has a music video with over 160,000 views, and there's a ton of people in the comments saying that they actually missed the band or that they saw them live on tour with other bands. However, I can hardly find any information about this group, and after breaking up in 2011, Smiles joined another band called Raw Fabrics under the name Jack Franco. They started the band in 2011, and by 2014 the band had just finished a nationwide tour that they headlined and then released their debut EP, Gold Handcuffs.
That fast?
2015, after releasing their second EP, it seems like the band split, leaving just Jack Franco, who is now going by Jack Bruno. He was also struggling with drugs, which may have had a hand in that. Jack Bruno was active as Raw Fabrics until 2016, when he decided to go solo as Jack Bruno, but instead of making rock music, he made rap music. I believe he started releasing rap music in 2017, and that's when his career got extra weird. He had songs featuring Famous Dex, who was super hot at the time, and he also had a song
for some reason,
Playboy Cardi released as 92 Jack, so it seems like he's been having identity issues throughout his career. Regardless, he was somehow very involved in the industry and had tons of connections. He's open for artists like Wiz Khalifa, Juice WRLD, Lil Pump, Lil Skies, 6ix9ine, and Ray Shremmerd. It's left a lot of people wondering how he was able to get these connections, and I've seen some people speculating
industry plant like a mug,
since no one really knew who he was and he was even booed off stage at some points. I feel bad for how hard he was clowned on, but the music was kind of cringy, like this live Dunkin' Donuts performance he did.
Trying to eat a diet, then you eat a donut. When you're trying to stay sane, then you up and go nuts.
Anyways, he released a lot of music as Jack Bruno, although most of it's been deleted from streaming services. But then in 2020, Jack Bruno again rebranded to Smiles, whose persona was essentially that of a 2010 smiley face emoji. It seemed like he was trying to have a similar image to 6ix9ine. He came out as Smiles under Create Music Group, which is the same group that has worked with 6ix9ine, YNW Melly, and more. So people speculate that the reason he has all of these connections isn't because of
it's either he's an industry plant or he's in the Illuminati. Simple as that. And I should not be saying that on the internet. I should get wiped out for that.
labels scooped him up and tried to make him an industry plant, but instead people speculate that he's just asking his dad for money so he can pay for these extremely expensive features and pay to open for people on tour. So that's why I'd say he is a traditional industry plant. It's more like he used his dad's money to actually plant himself in the music industry. And since he only has 18,000 monthly listeners despite all of these features and connections, I'd say it's going to be a failed attempt. So yeah, Smiles' career is crazy and I haven't seen anything like this, so maybe I'll do a full video about it one day in depth. And that brings us to our final industry plant, Icy Narco.
I'm Icy Narco and I deserve to be the XXL freshman because I taught SpongeBob how to play the clarinet.
Now I think the insane success of the SoundCloud era,
he looked like
Lil Pump at the mouth trying to capitalize on it, because Icy Narco is a clear-cut Lil Pump clone industry plant. And while making this video, I realized that my definition of industry plant may have been a little too strict, so I'm gonna bend my definition just a little bit for this section because Icy Narco did have a tiny bit of buzz before he got signed, and he also had a very similar image, but it's still pretty apparent
he's not an
industry plant being marketed towards a certain audience, and here's why. So Icy Narco began making music in 2016, back when he looked like a normal kid, but he didn't really get much attention. Throughout 2017, he changed his sound and style to be much more similar to that of a Lil Pump or some other trendy Florida rapper. His music was very mediocre, but the sound was trendy, so he did garner a small fan base. Songs like You, Viagra, Niagara, and more helped him grow his audience. Because he was already appealing to the Lil Pump type of audience, the label he would eventually sign with didn't have to do much to alter his image. It was already there. They would do some other inauthentic, cringy stuff, but I'll get to that later. All they had to do was just scoop very mediocre, but the sound was trendy, so he did garner a small fan base. Songs like You, Viagra, Niagara, and more helped him grow his audience. Because he was already appealing to the Lil Pump type of audience, the label he would eventually sign with didn't have to do much to alter his image. It was already there. They would do some other inauthentic, cringy stuff, but I'll get to that later. All they had to do was just scoop him up and push his mediocre music, which is exactly what happened. Icy Narco signed to 10,000 projects in late 2017 or early 20.
Do y'all know what 10K projects is, bro? Bro, I don't want to tell y'all, but it's not normal for you to sign a 10K projects. When you sign a 10K projects, you're instantly either a devil worshiper or an Illuminati, pretty much. Because this 10K projects, I don't want to tell you, but it's part of Illuminati, and I watched a video on it. Trippie Redd, 6ix9ine, all of them, Illuminati. Crazy shit, man. I say this, even Ice Spice, bro. Ice Spice as well. Ice Spice, DJ Academics, everybody is promoting 10K projects. If there are artists on 10K projects, they're working together. DJ Academic is pushing these people for Trippie Redd, 6ix9ine, Ice Spice. He can't say nothing bad about them because he's advertising them. They're all a part of this hidden organization. You know what I'm saying? I can't speak too much on it, or I could get terminated. You know what I'm saying? But it's scary shit. Very, very, very scary shit, man. I should watch what I say now. Watch what I say. I don't know nothing. I don't know nobody. Let's get back to it. But yeah, tell me what y'all think, man. If some of these people didn't sign with a record label and then they popped off, man, off of just being independent, man. But they had pulled a Little Baby, or what they have pulled, you know. Who else is an independent artist? DaBaby's independent. Man, it's just crazy how good you could be as an independent artist. But once you sign up with these labels, man, they pushing out narratives. And they're telling you what to say sometimes. They're telling you what to do. Some artists don't go for that shit. Some artists do. And that's what makes an industry plant, man. You're just pushing a narrative that the record label wants you to push. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, with that being said, man, tell me what y'all think about this. This needs to be talked about a lot more. Not a lot of people talk about it, but yeah, this is very sad. Very, very sad. Alright, without further ado, it's your boy Jamarcus, man. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. I love y'all so much. Good luck, YouTube.